Okay, good afternoon to everybody. Thank you for arriving on time and thank you for your patience there just for a couple of minutes. I just wanted the room to be totally full before we got started. We have a capacity of 100 for each of these webinars, which we've just reached actually. So if any of your colleagues were registered to join the webinar and unfortunately wasn't able to get in the room for 3 o'clock, I can email a recording of this afterwards. So we are up to capacity now, so we are ready to go. Okie dokie. So absolutely delighted to announce a partnership with live chat pioneers in the property industry, Yomdel. We're working in conjunction with Yomdel to help you guys over this current time period. So yes, I'm absolutely over the moon to be working with these guys, and we've got some great content which has been provided by them for today's webinar. Okay, so we'll go through the agenda. We're probably looking at around 35 to 40 minutes, and then what I'll do, as usual, if you've been in these webinars before, I will open up the lines for any questions. I will send out the slides to this webinar afterwards as well. That'll be done before 6 o'clock tonight. Okay, so the agenda. I'm going to go through the use of video in the property news with estate agents and a sharing of case studies for agents that are currently using videos. I'm looking at key contact groups for estate agents and why are they so important on lockdown. We're going to look as to why that is. I've got some lines from the lovely Phil Spencer on that as well. We look at some video examples and tips from Brief Your Market on what agents are doing to adapt their business on lockdown and case studies. Just prior to that, we're going to be talking about the power of live chat, and that is the content which has been very kindly supplied by Yomdel. We're going to look at your business continuation plan and powering your engagement levels and traffic to your website and social media channels with the power of video and also live chat too. We're also going to have a look at why online valuation leads are more important than ever now for estate agents. But then obviously any questions you guys have got, any sharing of ideas, which is very, very valuable to the whole industry at the moment. There is a mix of non-Brief Your Market customers and current Brief Your Market customers on the webinar this afternoon. This is free of charge, so again, if you do have anything to add of value, please share that with the team. Just a couple of house rules on questions. If you've got any questions, you can use the go-to webinar panel, which is probably on the top or bottom right-hand side of your screen there. So again, I will take questions at the end. So again, if you want to type them as you go or write them down, then obviously let me know at the end. That'll be great. Okay, so we'll fire away. So apologies for anybody who was on the webinar on Friday. There's a slight repeat on 2 or 3 of the articles here, but I've got some fresh stuff which I gleaned over the weekend and also from this morning's media as well. Okay, so I'll keep this on the screen for you guys just to quickly read. I think the key thing here is again the vendor in question saying we were worried that we wouldn't be able to sell because of the coronavirus, but we thought we'd give it a go. I must say I'm very impressed. Again, how agents are mobilising to the current situation. And of course, they had a vendor who was more than willing, obviously, to do that video viewing. Slightly more text here, so I'll just pop myself on mute just while you guys have a read of that. Again, quite two different stories there, really, from Fine and Country. You got Carl there in Staffordshire, whereby they did a FaceTime viewing of the property, and they've come to some type of agreement. Obviously, once the lockdown is on, and once the buyers are able to view in person. But again, that's keeping the wheels turning. And again, the other one there, the buyer was self-isolating, but the vendor's son were unwell. So the only option was to basically meet via technology and do that. And they loved the property and made an offer on it. So again, fantastic use of technology. And we have one more here, which is a virtual setting and about setting up a YouTube channel. So I'll just leave that on the screen there for you guys to have a quick look at. I think what I love about this particular story is that it is clearly an older, more traditional firm. It's 94th year, and it's recorded its first ever virtual sale. These guys were ahead of the curve with this in the last 6 months. They've been doing free video tours, which obviously have been on the portals, Facebook, Instagram, but also as well on their YouTube channel. Again, for the guys that were on the webinar on Friday, really good to engage with YouTube. YouTube hosts your videos for free. For briefly market customers, we do have a new video widget as well, which please speak to the team about, because we can host the videos and the analytics behind that too. As you can see from the end of this this story here, these guys used a WhatsApp call. I personally tripped up on this, myself, with the family, whereby you can actually do a WhatsApp video call for more than one person. So again, great free technology, and how agents are using technology to get on this very present moment. Okay, forward planning and thinking, I think, is genuinely critical. This is just stuff that I picked up over social media over the weekend and the last week. I'm just going to leave that. I'm not going to quote this here, but again, I'm just going to keep that on the screen for you guys to have a quick look at. Again, I do think the key thing here is that your preparation this time period, because there will be times. Again, I understand that a lot of agencies furloughed a lot of staff, but again, if you guys do allow your time to prepare, if your business can survive this current period, again, I think the best businesses will come out of this in a lot better shape and prepared for the battles ahead for the rest of 2020. I'm just going to leave this on the screen now for you guys to have a look at. This is James Morris Manuel. He's the MD of Matterport. Okay, the actual link to that article was from a negotiator, and again, the link to that article will be on the slides that I send out afterwards. I do like the final sentence there just before the admin reduced subheadline of "Far from killing off traditional agency skills, embracing prop tech helps agents to get back to the core of what they do best: negotiating and selling homes." Okay, this is something which I picked up from Peter Knight's 4i newsletter this morning. I'm just going to let you guys have a quick read out there, because I think that was some rather good stuff. I don't agree with all 10 points on there, but again, I'll let you guys have a quick look at that now. Okay, again, I will caveat this. I don't necessarily think that I would agree with all 10 parts of that there. But again, I just think it was quite a nice piece to get the mind flowing as to basically the situation we all find ourselves in at the moment. A little bit more on mindset, being critical. I'm just going to let you guys read this story. I think it's a fantastic story. Again, I think that's a fantastic story. I've obviously just reading through it again whilst you guys did too. I've certainly spoke to agents who, in the last 2 or 3 weeks, fall into both of those camps. But again, my take here would be is that you cannot control what happens with the coronavirus, but you can control how you respond to it. I think the fact you guys are on this webinar this afternoon would suggest that you guys are in the latter, as in how you would like to positively respond to this. Okay, so we can look at your video strategy on lockdown. This is just an open question to the room. Do you guys at the moment have a video strategy? Do you have a YouTube channel? Do you have virtual viewings? Do you have virtual valuations? And you know, have you used Matterport before, or any other of like Jira 360 tools? Again, video strategy is important. I'm gonna sort of talk to you about why. But first of all, it's about the key contact groups and how important they are to estate agents today. So your current sellers are most important. I was speaking with an agent up in York this morning. A lot of last week was him speaking with his current sellers to reassure them and tell them, well, by the way, we are still here. Slightly different. I've put these into 2 different bags here. Current sellers with vacant properties. Again, landlord exits. A lot of these might be where the tenants moved out and they just want to get out because of all the tax implications, more of which have gone live today. Current buyers, again, people do still want to buy over this time period, or obviously would have maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks ago. Keep them warm. I'm going to talk in practical terms about a virtual valuation pipeline and how agents I've seen in the last week are making that work. Then also as well looking at your summer 2020 valuation pipeline for in-person valuations. So these are the people really for running a sales department who would be my top 5 people that I would be staying in contact with. So why do I need to keep in contact with these people? Again, I'm just going to put something which I picked up this morning on what our Phil Spencer said on this. Again, I think Phil must have been watching my webinars last week, but as you can see there, you know, things have been moving very quickly. There is an appetite among consumers for regular updates from agents. For all the current Brief Your Market customers that are on the webinar, please engage with the team and use the power of our marketing system so you can stay in constant contact. Okay, next part, I'll just leave this on the screen for you guys to have a read of now. Again, I think this would be a fantastic piece to send out to sellers who have potentially withdrawn from the market with your agency or have gone on hold. Again, really good contact group to stay in close contact with. Again, with tips on how you guys can help them, and all being well, of course, if they then return to market, if you've stayed in constant contact with them over the last few weeks, you know they'll be picking up the phone to you first. Last one here from our field. Again, I think what this does do, if you've got an in-house IFA or you part of something like the Mortgage Advice Bureau, again, I've been speaking with my own mortgage advisor on this. She's very busy still at the moment. Again, I know obviously there's a kickback for certain agents when you have mortgage cases that are written. Again, it'll be good to talk with your database about mortgages. For the guys that are registered on Thursday morning's webinar at 11 AM, I've actually got a mortgage advisor to come on and speak about what's going on in the mortgage market at the moment and how you agents can mobilise over this time period. That's 11 o'clock on Thursday. Okay, so Brief Your Market are here to help and support estate agents. I'm running and presenting these webinars on a daily basis for as long as demand is there. Again, it's been great news today that we've had a full lockout. We've been oversubscribed again, which is great news. But again, myself and the team are all here to do our very best. We're all absolutely in this together as an industry. We're all trying to help each other. So your support in attending these webinars is genuinely appreciated. It keeps me busy. It keeps me in a job. And I hope that the team that you're dealing with at Brief Your Market, either myself or the other guys, are giving as much support as possible. So I talked about regular and constant contact. Phil Spencer backed me up on that as well, so thanks for that, Phil. Regular contact is critical. Why? For sellers. Number one, reassurance, what's going on in the property market. Your service level, that you're still able to service them during lockdown. Who is the key point of contact? The staff has been furloughed. I heard a stat this morning that 80% of agencies have furloughed 80% of their sales staff. So who's there? Maintain trust, stay in constant contact. A no contact approach is very high risk. I picked up a brilliant story on Friday from an agent in the Midlands where their competition had simply put the shutters down, and their phone line and answer phone message just said, we're closed for the foreseeable future. You can imagine that they will be cherry picking their instructions, and that business probably will not be around come September time. Okay, adapting to new challenges. Again, the implementation of the FaceTime and WhatsApp viewings, and obviously using the likes of Zoom as well. Personal opinion here, I think the agents who will adapt and embrace technology over this time period will be first through the traps in taking advantage of the return of the market later into 2020, obviously in whatever format that will be. Obviously, it depends on how long this goes on for. So why is regular contact critical for buyers? Well, you basically need to tell them you're still actually open for business, even though your premises is not. Offer the video viewings, the video appraisals, the video market updates to potential buyers. They're absolutely still out there. There'll be people who will need to maybe upsize if there's twins on the way, that type of thing. You know, the buying market is still there. Again, albeit a lot slower than, of course, it would be normally. Quick question here, can you actually service inquiry calls and emails during lockdown, even with furloughed staff? Again, I was speaking with an agency this morning, and there's literally a couple of directors who are doing a lot now. So does your business have the capacity to do this, and what technology can help? Can nicely bring me on to what I'm going to talk about with regard live chat and our new Brief Your Market partners, Yomdel. Again, the advice here obviously is from Brief Your Market and Yomdel. But again, obviously other live chat operators are there, and please take the advice and obviously go away with that, and hopefully we can help across the board. Contact for buyers as well. Share good news and business continuation stories. There's some examples coming up on that. It might be the fact that Mr. and Mrs. Jones have completed on a property this week, or Mr. Smith had a mortgage application agreed. Maybe an offer was accepted and they're moving in September, that type of thing. Keep the good news stories coming. It does make a difference. Nicely brings me on to the live chat function. So your service is critical for buyers and sellers. This is something I picked up on social media at the weekend. 44% of your potential clients won't hire you if you don't follow up quickly enough. I certainly bought properties myself before and been very disappointed in the level and time of response it's taken for agents to come back to me. I wouldn't like to do a mystery shop at this time of the moment. 80% of staff have been furloughed. But again, live chat, if you do have this, is a fantastic option for you guys to keep those service levels as they should be. So what could your live chat strategy be in lockdown? And again, a huge thank you to the guys at Yomdel putting these slides together for me to present to you this afternoon. So why would I use live chats? Sometimes people ask me that. Well, quite honest with you, guys and girls, you're short-staffed at the moment. Like people off with illness, there's obviously people who have been furloughed, and sometimes a lack of home working availability. What does this do if you're trying to field telephone calls, emails, that coming into your business? The advantage of live chat is that it is absolutely 24/7 and it's flexible. Live chat is always available as the first line of response to your business. And from a customer service element, your website is the first place customers will go. Again, if they, let's say, for example, sent a lead via a property portal, but they want an immediate answer, they're going to be going to your website. A fast response is needed. If it's immediately available on your website, there's no telephone holding, for example, or waiting for that email back. There is a resource filter, like a triage really, that can handle pre-inquiries and prioritise their required responses. And, you know, it takes the initial burden off you. If you're trying to run this business from home and keep this alive, again, you can't do it all. I know a lot of agency owners that are going solo at the moment and spinning a lot of plates. I guess with the live chat, really, it might be, you know, something as simple as, you know, I'm just wondering what your availability is like, you know, if I'd like to chat about the current market because I'm currently selling with yourself. That's really important. The good thing with live chat as well, it can filter out the really important live chats that happen. So let's say, for example, a tenant logged onto your website and they're about to tell you that they've lost their job, they're applying for universal credit and they can't pay the rent this month. Again, that would be really important for someone to get back to them maybe within the hour or two. And that might be maybe more important than somebody who says, I'd like to view a house in a couple of weeks' time, for example. So it allows you to triage the importance of those inquiries too. of brand experience, really. Your customers will absolutely appreciate the help. I can only speak about this personally, but I had Vodafone broadband installed 2 or 3 months back. I use their live chat function because, to be quite honest with you, I have not got the time to be on hold and listen to terrible hold music for 45 minutes. It's fast. It was on my phone. I was using it on my phone, and I was able to get on with the things like cooking a dinner and what have you. And I got my end results quicker than I probably would have if I was waiting on the phone or waiting for an email back. So again, your brand experience will be enhanced by using live chat. So how to maximize live chat? If you guys have got this, please listen up. So brief your partner or teams effectively and stay in constant contact as to what the script is for that day. If there's revised availability, i.e. John's not available, David is, for example, that's really important. There will be service changes and compromising you'll have to make, but there'll be new services and innovations that might be. So let's say if it was for tenants, for example, it might well be that Rachel is not available, or by the way, you can go onto our website and log a maintenance query via our fixed flow link, for example. You can prioritize your information from high value customers. So again, in talking about this, if you had, let's say, a landlord which came on and so they wanted to end an agreement because the rent wasn't being paid, that will be really, really important stuff. So again, you guys could prioritize that because you have an output list of these live chats within your Yomdel system, so you could prioritize things like that. Again, for the guys that are on Brief Your Market and the other guys aren't as well, if you've got live chat, have your direct chat links everywhere. There's an example on the screen here. This is a Brief Your Market email from Andrews. As you can see there, need help, let's chat. Click on there, I'm straight through. Use it on your Brief Your Market emails. If you're doing SMS marketing, put it on there as well. And again, please put it on your social media posts too. So again, how to maximize live chat. Plan your process for a follow-up. Have an allocated responsibility. If there's 4 of you in the team, you'd say, right, okay, it's Edward's turn to talk to all the current vendors today. Be clear about your availability and service capability. If it might well be is that you're that busy during that day that there's going to be a 3-hour turnaround in you getting back to people. Let the people know that, and just basically set their expectation. It's really important over this time expectation is set. I was speaking to somebody the other day who's trying to sell the home. They wasn't entirely sure what the agency that was selling through, what was going on. They couldn't get hold of them. I mean, that's quite horrific. I'm quite sure that they'll probably end up swapping agents once the contract period is over. Make sure the certain customer gets what they need. Again, if they're lettings inquiries, if they're tenant inquiries, landlord inquiries, make sure they go to your best staff that are non-furloughed to deal with these and keep your customers happy. But please integrate your online processes with chats as well. So again, you have your chat operators to offer links. If you've got an online valuation tool, if you've got video viewing appointments, again, put the URL there. Video valuation appointments. And again, I've mentioned fixed flow, they're the pioneers in the property maintenance side for this app. But again, if you're sending out, let's say, an email by Brief Your Market to talk to tenants on how your service levels are at the current moment, who to contact, again, you could offer the live chat function as well as other ways of contacting your agency. But again, live chat would be far and away quicker than maybe sending an email or being on hold in rather a long queue if you're taking telephone calls. So I'm going to use Bradley's as an example again later into the presentation for using videos. But Bradley's are a customer of Yomdel's and of Brief Your Market, so I've deliberately chosen them. We do have authorization from the guys there, so if you're on the line, thank you for that. As you can see here at the top of their website, they've got an important update for tenants, landlords, buyers and sellers, which takes them to the COVID-19 update page. If you guys haven't done that yet, I suggest you should do. But again, as you can see here with the pop-up live chat, as you can see there, hi, welcome to Bradley's. During these challenging times, We're here for our customers, doing anything we can to help. Shall we chat? What a fantastically warm approach, and I think that was quite fantastic. Okay, again, this was the COVID-19 landing page for Bradley, so I'll just let you guys have a quick look at that on the. Okay, and as you can see there again, there is the live chat feature just on the bottom right hand side there as well. Okay, this for me is ridiculously powerful statistical information. So again, with the kind support of Yomdel and the guys at Bradley's, we took a day of last week being the 2nd of April, and there are 40 live chats in one day. The first was at 6 minutes past 8, and the last was at 8 minutes past 10. A third of these leads have tangible commercial value, and the rest are crucial service requirements from customers in need. There's just a little breakdown there, as you can see on the right-hand side, of the incoming live chats over one singular 24-hour period. And we have an actual breakdown of what these are as well. So I'll just keep them just on the screen there for a second. Again, I think the most important ones, obviously where we are at the moment in the stage of trying to keep our pipelines together. There were 3 sellers there who had a listing inquiry. There was a mortgage valuation survey inquiry there. So again, a property going through. Really important one here, halfway down, a seller with a completion status inquiry. Again, that will be a build revenue once that goes through. Tenant requirements there, as you can see there as well. And again, rental viewing inquiries. Again, they could be lower down the importance scale, but again, this is what the power of live chat can do. So you can maybe put the fact that somebody has a completion status inquiry completes the top there, because that will absolutely bank revenue for you moving forward. And you would want to make sure, of course, that probably your most senior member of staff would be dealing with that as well. So it's very valuable to your business at this current moment. This was the rest of the live chats, which were filled within a 24-hour period. I will let you guys in on something here. So the second one down there was actually a tenant who used their live chat, who was actually locked out of their property. So can you imagine if they'd called that agency I referenced up in the Midlands, and that they said they were closed for the foreseeable future? Not great at all. So again, that is, I mean, that was not. I only saw this at the end of last week. Again, I was quite dumbfounded by the actual power of what live chat can do for estate business. And again, I'm sure you guys will agree, certainly if you furloughed staff, you need to look at everything you can do at the moment to make sure that you can still service your customer needs and get through this time period. So if you guys want to speak to the team at Yomdel, there's an email address there. Again, I'll send this out on the slides afterwards as well. It's info@yomdel.com. Have a look at their website. I had a look around very kindly. The guys that let me have a look around their system. I can tell you from nearly 10 years in the property industry, I had a look at their interface. It is absolutely fantastic. There are other live chat operators out there, but again, these guys know what they're doing. They're pioneers in the field. So again, please get in touch with them if you believe that they can help over this current time period. Okay, so going on to more video. So we can look at some brief your market video case studies and basically examples of what I've seen in the last week of how agents are using video through their brief your market communications. So this one was a business continuation email made by General James DePavy. So this was sent out the night after Boris announced the lockdown. As you can see, the gentleman is clearly at home there. I know a lot of agents get very nervous about the production quality of some of the videos if they want to engage in that. It doesn't have to be Jurassic Park or War of the Worlds. At the end of the day, we are all based from home, so please don't be nervous about doing pieces to camera. This guy basically, on the video, was talking about the fact that all of his offices will be closing down for the foreseeable future, but they will still open and available to talk to any potential buyers, potential sellers, landlords and tenants. Again, the engagement rate there was very high because he was straight off the out of the traps after the lockdown was introduced. This is Bradley's again, so a big thanks to the guys there again. This was a Hot Properties email. The subject line on the email, which I thought was brilliant, is view our properties from the comfort of your own home. So again, as you can see there with the email, what I've done is put a watch video square across the top of all the thumbnails there. But also as well, as part of the email, I've got their online valuation tool there again, which of course is keeping those valuation fires burning over this time. Quick tip for the guys who maybe aren't using video at the moment on the webinar. If you guys have got an iPhone or an iPad, or the kids have, take it off them tonight. Install iMovie if you've not already got it. It is a pre-installed app on iPhones, by the way, and iPads. But again, please engage in this. You'd be quite surprised about the quality of some of the videos you can make from iMovie on your phone. So again, give that a go tonight. I'm sure you'll have some fun with that. On a more serious element, it's a very, very powerful tool, and again, completely free of charge. Okay, so I talked before about the business continuation news plan. Again, there's just some ideas there. I'm just going to leave that on the screen for you guys to just have a look at just while I take a sip of water. Again, I'll look at the third one down here. So it could be that you just want to do a very quick video update for the week. I did one for an agent in Surrey at the end of last week. Again, this might be a nice piece to camera saying, yep, you know, we're struggling at the moment, business is slow. But by the way, Mrs. Jones exchanged contract with buy and seller solicitors around the corner, and she's due to move in on August, and all searches are due to complete by that time. Again, it's a nice, good news story and shows your business continuation during this time period. Okay, this is something which was new to me last week. I've heard of other agents doing it since as well. Again, I was talking with an agent up north this morning, and they're doing virtual valuations too. Again, it might not be that they instruct you on that day. I do know that agents have done that already, by the way. But again, even if you do a virtual valuation now, and then when lockdown is lifted, you then go your first through the door, and you've got a nice valuation pipeline that you can build on. So when the other agents who have sat on the laurels for a couple of months start to build their valuation pipeline up, they're going to be starting from zero, and you guys will be ahead of the curve. So this was an email which was sent by Brief Your Market. Discover the value of your property without having to step foot outside. Click here to book your virtual valuation. Then it clicks onto their website, of course, and I'll just let you guys read the text just at the bottom there, because I think that's quite clever. Okay, this is Winkworth. in Shepherd's Bush, and again, absolutely the same thing. They put this communication out to all potential sellers in the area, and again, just to try and generate some virtual appraisals. Again, there'll be agents saying, no, I'm not doing that. I'll do it when Boris has lifted the lockdown. Again, the agents that decide not to do that are certainly going to be behind the agents who do actually decide to do that. Even if you're getting 2 or 3 a week, it's 2 or 3 a week more than your competition will have done, who have put the shutters down and probably watching Sky News on repeat and arguing with other agents on Facebook, for example. Okay, so this is a fantastic thing I picked up on LinkedIn. A lot of agents do what we call vlogging now. So I think probably the equivalent I can give it to, and I've dealt with estate agents about 21, 22 years now. When I used to sell the property news in Solihull, all the agents used to scrap over the page 3 comments. I would like to, you'd have Derek from so and so who wanted to talk about the current markets at the moment. This is the equivalent in 2020. Superb firm in the Midlands and Shropshire, Knockdyton. Mike does know that I am using this. I do believe you're on the webinar today, Mike, so apologies for the embarrassment here. But again, as you can see, it's a lovely piece to camera here. Mike's clearly at home. Again, please engage with things like this. The engagement levels you get from this is actually really, really impressive. If you've not given it a go before, please do give it a go. It really does make a difference. And a huge thanks to Mike and the team there at Knockdyton for allowing me to use that. So, online valuations, these are absolutely now critical. Why? Well, quite obviously, everyone will be at home. Well, they should be. Online activity will be through the roof. We completely know that. I've had to reboot my router about 4 times in the last week. Unfortunately, financial situations will alter. The dreaded 3Ds will absolutely come into play. It's very sad. It's very morbid. I apologise for that. But again, the wheels will have to turn on this when the crisis lifts. That the market will return in some form later into 2020. But I guess my question to you is, will you have a valuation pipeline to come back to post-lockdown? So please speak to the Brief Your Market team. Again, we're a bit smaller than we used to be before. Again, we're all in the same boat here. This is the Rogues Gallery. So this is all the guys that can help and support your Brief Your Market campaigns at the moment. We are writing new content as we speak. So again, we're rolling with the punches like you guys are. And of course, do keep in contact with us all. And I'm doing these daily webinars. Of course, I will showcase anything that's brand new. But do have a look at our social media channels too. Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Okay, so for the non-Brief Your Market customers on the webinar today, if you want to book a free, no obligation consultation with the team, please let us know. Again, it is strictly no obligation. We can go through what we can do and how we can prove return on investment via the system. So again, I will send the link out after the webinar to you guys' email addresses that have attended today. So I come onto the questions section. I can see from my questions pane a couple have come through, so I'll be able to get to answer them now. Again, a huge thank you to everybody that's attended this morning. Again, it's been this morning. It's been a long morning. This afternoon, it's been another sellout. So thank you for that. Yeah, I do genuinely and personally appreciate that. Again, if you've got other colleagues who wanted to attend this afternoon and couldn't get on the call, send me an email, let me know, and I'll send out a recording of this. A huge thank you to our new Brief Your Market partners, Yomdel, for the information they supplied for this webinar. Again, the contact details for the guys at Yomdel will be on the slides and the follow-up email. Huge thanks to you guys again. Stay safe, stay well, and I look forward to fielding your questions. Take care. Thank you.